All right, what is up, guys? We just have Austin, Troy, Ed here to today's AI coaching class. All right, about programmatic SEO. And Austin just asked a very important question. He said, how do we actually find the traffic? How do we actually find the keywords that are worth going after? What to rank for? Like what is even the point? And then Troy asked another important question earlier is, if Google does the same thing, right? Like if Google literally has the exact Google Maps, right? And it has the same business, why are we even doing this? Right? And what's really crazy, right? Like, so for me, this has been like, it's interesting is this hasn't been like something that I'm like, oh man, I'm going to do SEO and I'm going to rank for local keywords. Like this wasn't like something I wanted to do when I grew up, right? Like this was something that we almost stumbled into on accident. And the way that this happened is I was building a directory so we could put our businesses on. And all of a sudden, it's like you have to start to learn, well, if I have to make my directory link that says my URL with my name on it, unique to my business, well, all of a sudden it starts to turn in, well, how do I do that with coding? And how do I do that? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait. There's other businesses that do this. Oh, wait, there's a whole system on how to do this properly. Oh, wow, Google really loves when you do it like this. And Google will reward you with this. And apparently, the people searched for things like this on a regular basis. And so here's what I do is I like to, right, for Christmas just happened, right? Troy's in a beautiful place, wherever that is.
I'm back in California, but yeah, I mean, it looks snowy there, wherever I'm at.
That's what's up. All right, so we just got a steamer, right? We had this grime in our shower, right? And we ended up getting a steamer for Christmas. And I'm telling you, I scrubbed the heck out of that for weeks, and I could never get that stuff off our freaking tile, right? And all of a sudden, I got this little steamer, and this thing heats up the water to like 10,000 degrees, and it just melts off the grime off the showers, like off the doors, everything. It's beautiful. Literally, like sometimes you'll be like, oh man, I don't know how to do this. And then all of a sudden you'll get a tool that does it 10,000 times easier. All right. So for me, I'm not no SEO specialist. I just use a tool. Okay. So here's the way I do it. I just simply look at the numbers. All right. So I'm going to share with how I came up with my idea. So here's the thing is, Austin, what kind of people do you know in your life? Okay. Like literally give me, like, what kind of businesses do they have? Do you have any friends that have like any businesses at all? Like give me
So
one.
I have a lot of friends that are like in skilled trades.
Okay.
Specifically like electricians, home builders, that type of niche. Now I was looking on that we're talking about it. I was looking on like I also have a couple people. It's becoming the new year, and I know a couple people that own tax accounting or whatever it's called, that do the tax services. And I was like, well, that would be a good, like, I don't know if that is like seasonal, but that's another good thing that we could possibly jump into is accounting or taxes or whatever it's called.
Yep. So let's just say I don't know what it is called either. So I'm just going to start with tax agent, I'm guessing. Right? Like I don't know if that's what it is, but I'm just going to start there. All right. And just by me searching in tax agent, okay, so here's the word. I have this thing, this plugin. It's called SEO Quake. Okay. So SEO Quake. And basically, it gives you some data. And also, there's another one I have. It's called Keywords Everywhere. All right. So those are the two plugins I use. Okay. So if you look at this, we just searched up tax agent. Okay. And tax agent, if you see it, it gives us some volume. Okay. So here's our volume. And it says, let me zoom in so we could see a little bit better. All right. So it says 14,800 times /MO month. Okay. So this is 14,000 searches a month for this exact word, tax agent. Okay. Well, now here's what's cool. if you look at this, this is cost per click. This is the average cost per click that Google will charge you if you were to pay for this one word. All right, but understand Google is a two-sided marketplace. So that means they'll charge you if you want to buy this word, and they'll pay you if you want to advertise on this word, if somebody advertises this word on your site. Okay, so you get paid, I would say, like 20% of whatever this word is. Okay, so if you look at this sponsored, you see all these like things. This is top 10 tax relief service. Well, if we look at this tax agent, well, if I click on this, look what happens. You see this little drop down. This is the keywords everywhere, right? Well, it says tax accountant Las Vegas. You see how it gave me another variation of the tax agent, tax accountant word. So now all of a sudden, I'm not looking at tax agent. I'm looking at the word tax accountant. And now look at this. But you see what comes up very first is tax accountant Las Vegas. Now look at this. You see how this gets searched 1,480 times? Tax accountant Las Vegas gets searched up 320 times a month. Just Las Vegas. So now I click on this. And now we're looking at this. Well, check out this. Hey, Troy, you're right. You see the very top two results? Google does do this. You see how Google has these top two results? This is Google Maps.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guess what? Afterwards, they have sponsored. So they took the just two top spots. It doesn't mean they took up the whole thing. So yeah, are they doing this? Yes. But does it mean that there's not enough for us? No, there's plenty. Right? So look, there's the ads, but then Google doesn't want to say, hey, here's all ads. So guess what? They give maps again. So there's maps. Well, there's only 1, 2, 3 maps. So now you keep scrolling, and then there's some options. And then guess what? Now here's the first website, result number 5. That's an actual business that is CPA in Las Vegas. This is the first business. After you scroll to number 5, you get to the first actual business. And then check out this. If we scroll a little bit further, we reach number 6 is a programmatic SEO website, which is the second organic spot, right? Which is Yelp, top 10 best tax accountant in Las Vegas. You see how they're doing it? Top 10 best tax accountant in Las Vegas. Yelp right here, this is programmatic SEO. That is what this is doing. So now we just found this. Well, this one keyword, look how many cost per click, $5.04. Well, if we look at this, scroll up. If we look at this, I don't know how I move this SEO Quake thing. However, if we look at this little results page where it says results right here, about 3 million results, anything under 2 million is fairly easy for a brand new site. 3 million, you might not be on the top 10, top 20. And that's no guarantee. It's just, but I'm saying it's like competition. This is your competition right here. 3 million other pages are ranking on Google for this. However, if you have a website that has tax account in Las Vegas, well, now we start scrolling down and it's the same thing, right? So we have this, and then if we tax preparation, Paramount Tax and Accountant. I don't know if this is a programmatic SEO website, but we will check. Select a service near you. Look at all this. So I don't know if this is a site, one guy, Paramount, that decided to literally highlight their stuff, and they're doing SEO, local SEO correctly. However, if you keep scrolling down, here's some sponsored. You see how these locations, these are like the programmatic SEO style website. It doesn't actually look that there's a lot of programmatic SEO websites in this tax space. But look at this. Small business CPA Las Vegas, $6.88. And that's 100. So now imagine this. If you had a programmatic SEO website, you can put tax accountant as one of your categories. And you can also put small business CPA Las Vegas. And you're going to come up for both of them, right? So that's the programmatic part. It's not about, like, right now I have a site. What I realized, I have a site called Dispensaries Near Me Open Now. Instead, I should have a brand called 24 Hour Blaze. And it's all smoke shops and dispensaries and all of these other sites. You know what I mean? And now it's the programmatic SEO because I have all of these categories that's related to blazing up in that space. Now I'm building a brand. If you have tax, if you want to go after accountants, right? Maybe you have a brand around that. And it's kind of like the ZocDoc idea, right? ZocDoc created a brand around ZocDoc. Well, they have all of these different things. I truly believe that we're going to build these up and we're eventually going to sell them. And just like what we're like, people are going to want to buy these and want to sell them. Like I've already had this like little offer, and recently I turned it down. Like Troy and I were just talking about it. Was that the right decision? Maybe. Was it the wrong decision? Who knows? It could have been. Maybe I could have just took the money and be like, oh, look, I sold the site and now we keep working on it. And maybe that's the direction. Or we see these that we could build them. And a lot of these sites, when you start to rank for them, here's the cool thing, right? I was just checking on this morning. This is where I'm going with this. This one continues at 51 clicks a day. This hasn't stopped since we've literally listed it. Like this is the dispensary site. It hasn't stopped. Like it's continuously every day getting clicks. So there's still room on Google for it. Well, now we have the attorney site. Well, the attorney site's doing the same thing. It's starting to get clicks every day now. And it's starting to get more. And guess what? The reason why is I'm not doing anything. Check out this, guys. I submitted 3 million pages. And right now it's starting to fetch. It says could not fetch, but Google starts to find them over a few days. Like at first it said could not fetch, and then every few days it starts to show more. Right? But literally I'm submitting the pages, and then Google comes over here and it says right here, discovered, just hasn't crawled yet. And then soon it's going to start crawling these pages and listing these pages. Well, all I'm doing is listing them for every category that I find. Right. And so now it's getting listed and we're just listing these pages. So when you're finding these, you're wanting to find these little like Nevada CPA, right? So a CPA might be a small business CPA. So I'm looking for this SEO like cluster in a sense of like, here's tax accountant, here's accountant, CPA. So these would be all like terms that I would write down that I would want to rank for. Does that make sense, Austin?
Yeah.
And so here's nothing. So if I have small business CPA Las Vegas, well, check out this small business CPA. And now if I type in San Diego, look at this. This is programmatic SEO. Because small business CPA San Diego is 140 times a month. Small business CPA San Diego or San Antonio, San Diego, San Francisco, small business attorney. Oh, now look, it's giving me some attorneys. Look, oh yeah, I like these ones. All right. So look, you see how it starts to all of a sudden. So when I start to look, so if I go to dispensary, watch this. So dispensary, Las Vegas. Or I'll just put dispensary San, and then you can see it starts to populate. You see how many times it gets searched a month? 9,000 times a month, 6,000 times a month. Y'all a bunch of stoners. 210 times a month. Like 6,000 times a month. So I was looking, when I started my dispensary site, I was looking at like traffic numbers. But if you see this other number, look, I'm so blind to this. Dispensary Santa Fe, 6,000 times a month. And then over here, it says $3. I think that is I mean, maybe this is not true. Maybe sometimes it'll kick up. And because if I actually look at my, let's go to this. If I actually look at my AdSense, this is what I'm also working towards. I'm looking for people that pay a lot of money in ads. Because if I want to rank, I could either go after high traffic, where it's like I'm going to get a lot of clicks, or 2, I could go off out of like who's going to pay me the most. So right now, let's see, I have sites, and you can see right now I have my attorney site getting ready. It's being authorized for ads. They told me back that my site was too thin, so I had to update it, put headers on it and all that stuff. However, you can see what our ads are doing so far, right? $6. I should have took the 10,000. Troy, you're right. based off these numbers. All right. So, however, you can see the cost per click right here is at 3 cents. I'm not trying to like, that's why I went from the dispensary niche over to the most highest paying niche possible, right? All of a sudden, I went from over here to, if you type in attorney, oh, jobs might be a good one. Check out that. Jobs might be a good one for like, for programmatic SEO. Attorney Las Vegas. Attorney Las Vegas. Well, now we're at $7. Lawyer Las Vegas criminal, $10. So I started to think, okay, what's the higher selling things? Now check out this, Austin. A few seconds ago, you said you have the tax of people, right? So if you have tax agents and you have like CPAs, right, small business, I ultimately want to look for people that I have. What is my cluster? And I start to gather my keyword cluster that I'm going to go after. That helps me determine what my website branding domain is going to be. Once I have that, then I start to build out that. But if you have people that you could reach out directly, like friends, no joke, I think that's probably the fastest way to monetize these is if you literally have a friend that already has a business that can help, you could help with this, dude, just help them. Literally just build it for them and like give it to them for free to be number one so you can prove out the idea that it works. Like literally just build it out. Because here's the thing, what we're going to do in the end with this is ultimately, like with this attorney site, if I go to attorney search near me, ultimately, I want to make it where when you search this and you get back these results and this guy, right, Brian Boyer, I see this guy all the freaking time right by my house and all his billboards and stuff, right? Well, I want this guy to be number one and I want him to pay for this spot. And so ultimately, I want to be able to show this guy like, hey, look, like I have stats and I got you clicks. So
are we supposed to be seeing something? Because I only see this Google AdSense page.
Oh, I wonder if my screen stopped showing for some reason. That's weird. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Thanks for letting me know because you guys were supposed to show something. All right, so
there you go.
All right, so this guy Brian Boyer, right? He's a lawyer. He pays. I'm telling you, the billboards in Vegas are not cheap, right? Like I wonder if we could say how much is a billboard in Las Vegas? Look, I'm not the only ones that ask this question. Look at this. Static billboards can cost $10,000 to $30,000 per month. Like these things in Vegas are everywhere. Everywhere. Look at this. You guys see this? You guys see the injury? Look in this little picture, injury lawyer. Let's see if this is a picture. Like maps and billboards of Las Vegas, dude. Is this really a billboard map? What the heck? Dude, there's 18 right here. Look at all these. All of these are freaking, dude, this is cool. Dude, who made this map? All right. Like, these are all the billboard locations and what's on them. Dude, I wonder if this site sells billboards. Oh, dude, this site sells billboards. So all of these, like 90, yeah, there you go. Look at this. I would say like probably 90% of the billboards in Las Vegas are like these injury lawyer ads right here. Like this guy, Nakwi, right? So if I go onto my site, like this guy's on my site. Right?
Or bail bond. A bail bond shop.
How do you spell his name? So yeah, NQVI. NQVI. Right? So search Nakvi. Look at this. Look, we have this guy right here. You know, so this guy's on our website. Yeah. Well, I could reach out to this guy, and here's where I'm going with this is is I'm creating a complete dashboard. Check out this. Austin's doing something very similar too. So heck yeah, man. So we're going to have our categories. You're going to be able to come in here and search up your category, right? So once you have your category, you're going to be able to come up here and have your main category in here. Then you have all of your categories, one per line. So literally I added 100 categories here. Like, look at all that. So now what you do is you times those categories by your location. Okay. You times those categories times your location. And I have 29,861 locations. As soon as this page loads, right? So I have 29,000 locations. So this is our location thing. So now we're able to come in here and we're able to add locations by city or state, or it just comes with the whole bit. So this is what creates what's called your sitemap. If I go to this little page, you can see this page is automatically dynamically generated for us. And it creates us a sitemap for every single one of these. Well, inside these sitemaps is all of the pages for each one of those cities and states for our programmatic SEO pages. Okay, so this is our backend dashboard. And then now we have our profiles. So if I come on here and I could type in Nakwi, right? Nakwi injury accident lawyer. You can see he has 2 locations in Las Vegas, one on Flamingo and one on Durango. And I could view his profiles. So now we actually have a profile of each one of these clients. Okay. So now we have a profile of each one. It loads. My bad for the internet, guys. All right, look at how nice this guy's building an office is. Like, this guy has definitely enough to pay my bill. You know what I mean? Like, the dude is a billboard lawyer, you know? So ultimately we have this. Well, dude, I hope my internet kicks back on. All right. So ultimately we have this, right? So we're able to say we can put these profiles on our site. This whole thing that you guys see right now, this whole page, the header, the search attorneys, get listed, sign in, all of this is plugged in by the code. Like, literally, like, everything you see is completely dynamic based off of the branding in our backend right here. So the goal is to be able to make these sites. So Troy asked a question a few minutes ago. He said, at what point is a stopping point? And I really haven't figured that out, what the point of the stopping point is. But I think what the stopping point is if I go into our here, I need a place right here, a little toggle switch. After I get off the phone with this guy and he says, yeah, I'll take $1,000 a month for each location to be number 1. And now I just click. I need to be able to say, okay, you're promoted, and then turn on a toggle switch right here. That's it. So now he's number 1 on the spot, right? So just like Google Maps, if we look at Google right here, like, the very first thing they're doing is selling this sponsored section right here, sponsored, right? So they're literally selling the sponsored spot the same way that we want to, right? Like, they're selling the top 3 sponsored spots, right? Well, ultimately, I want, when somebody searches Las Vegas attorney, I want them to be able to find my site, be able to go to that, and then he'll be number 1, and then he pays me to be number 1 every month. And that's the way, I guess, when we say what's a stopping point for this, actually there's going to be 2. Here's the thing is, because if we go to this site, if we go to our attorney search site, ultimately we want people to be number 1 when they promote, but we also want to be able to put our little banner ads on that site too. So whether you use Google ads or whether you use like your own ads. So now, what's up, Austin? Because then I got a question for you guys.
So I actually wanted to show you what I got, because I know you were kind of going on. You were showing something, and I kind of, because we were talking last time, we talked. We were talking about how I have something similar set up. But I kind of want to show you the way I'm going, and it might help you, it might not. So
Please.
let me share my screen, and let me go to entire screen. All right. So can you see my website right now?
I can. It looks beautiful, man. Well done.
All right. So each website has, or each business has this little gray tick, and as you can see, if I can hover, when I hover over it, it says unverified business. So that means this business is unverified, and I'm able to then be able to, in the back, and I haven't set it up yet, but in the back end I'll be able to go in and update it to be like, okay, they are a verified business. And then if they want to purchase like a pro plan, they'll be a pro user. And then when I log in, I'm able to then, I mean, I have my profile right here. It shows that I'm an admin. I can edit any business right here. I can then categories. You can add the categories, but you can also the system activities. So that's another thing that you could add to where it gives yourself a history of, be like, okay, what did I do last? Like I added this yesterday. I added 10th Planet Livonia, and I'm able to give myself a history, the statistics, and then you were saying something about wanting to, like, the next step after or before I went off on a tangent. I am kind of making it to where people can go in banner ads, sidebar ads, featured listing, or they have a homepage spotlight, like that's basically just them. And then click the duration, the placement, if they want the homepage only, category pages, search results, or all pages. And then they'll be able to go in and select the date. I haven't even done this yet. Let's see. Base cost $49, duration cost $71. I just had AI code this up for me. This is nothing, but this is just for a day. Obviously, it wouldn't be $2.45. But yeah, so something along in a different type of ad.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
badass.
Dude, you are phenomenal coding, bro.
Look at
What's
that.
up? Dude.
Why is the duration cost saying minus 216?
I have no clue. I have no clue. Yeah. Obviously, I haven't really worked on this yet. I've mainly been working on the other bones to put the person together, if that makes sense.
It just looks like you're giving them a fat discount. That's all right.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, this is just filler right now. But yeah, this is what I got, and then obviously I have this set up too.
Wow.
That looks nice.
Dude, you are doing amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that is phenomenal. Like, it even welcomed you by name. I saw it said Austin up top. Like,
yep.
Oh, what? So I'm so impressed.
Look at that. Who's the teacher now?
Yeah, like, look at you, Austin.
Okay.
Austin, you got to let us know what process of your coding tools are you using to make that so far?
Okay, so the process is, let me take a step back. When I first started, I started using my AI team, obviously, because my AI team kind of built the bones to what I wanted to build. And then I kind of steered away from my AI team. I love my AI team, but it doesn't do when I go in to put PHP in there, it breaks. Obviously, because PHP is not it's not renderable code where it will display. So I was using mostly Cursor, and then so with Cursor, I kind of just back and forth with it. Right now I have it to where I can update, edit, and delete a business. I can update. So everything that I have right now is inside of my database. I do not have inside. So when I say that, all of my categories are inside of my database. All of my businesses are inside of my database. Because how we were saying a couple weeks ago, I asked you, okay, well, are you going to put those businesses, are you going to put everything inside of your database? And you're saying yes, because a JSON file is like loaded every time. So I added everything inside of the database, so everything is being able to, because inside of a database, like it takes like 0.0002 seconds to load, so it's stupid easy. And I'm kind of making it to where, okay, I want to be able to build it once and then just use that as a template, because of the fact that there's so much to build. It's not even funny that like it's
no, bro. Yeah. I think that's why I'm so impressed, is because I see that what you've created and I know what you're creating, and we're creating this, dude. Like, I'm so impressed with your coding skills with AI so far. I'm not joking, Austin. Out of 22,000 friends that I have, you're probably in the top 10 coders at all, like total, that I've seen that you could create something and bring something to life, because that's amazing. You're doing freaking amazing.
So
like, well done.
One thing that I love our community. I love everything that we've put together. We need more doers than sayers. You said a while back, like you can talk about it, but until you're doing it, it's kind of hard to like to preach what you teach, type of thing.
Yeah. And what's crazy is you were doing music with me, then you went to Bubble with me, and now you're doing full on software development, code development, and you're excelling, bro. Like you're not just like you're kind of doing it good. No, you're like creating full stack software, saving to databases, and it looks amazing. It looks like world-class software right there. Like,
well, so to give you guys a bit of context of how I kind of went about and like did this to crafting the software, what I did was I told Cursor I want it to be enterprise grade, because I don't want it to look like something that just came off the streets, if that makes sense. If you look at a website that just came off the streets, to give you context, it looks like it was just thrown together. I want this to be something that is professional, because people will go to a business directory and they'll be like, they'll be lenient on it. What you need, so there for a business directory to stand out, it needs to have it needs to be able to trust a user needs to be able to trust that everything is verified, and a user needs to be able to navigate it very smoothly. Now with everything that I'm setting up my pins in a row to make sure they all knock down at the same time, instead of being able to, when I knock it down, only one falls. Them all to fall down at the same time. If that makes sense.
that does. And I just want to say, if you go after the tax accountant niche, bro, I have total tax accountant friends, and I would help promote that for you. Like no joke. Because I know those guys need help. They make a ton of money. I give them a ton of money. Like literally, like, dude, I paid my tax accountant all last year, and then I owe still $22,000, and I'm like, yuck. Like, I was like, I don't understand. I paid you guys. Aren't you supposed to make it go away? But that's not how it works.
Right.
They just calculate the money for you. I was like, this is the dumbest job ever, but whatever. Like,
yeah.
Like, how am I paying you to deliver me bad news? I hate your job. But whatever. That's all right. So I mean, having a list of giant, amazing, freaking tax accountants that I could call because I got rid of my last one would be amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah. So dang, I think that's
I'm
awesome.
gonna figure out. Here's a question for you, Jeff, because my JSON file is still crashing of locations. Have you added that into your database yet, or how are you navigating that?
Yeah, I turned it into an SQL file and then I added the whole thing into my database.
Okay.
So so here is, let me let's see. Let's go to app.myai team, and I'll share my screen real fast. And so I use a snippet that I coded.
Okay.
And it really helps with dev work. And I'll just share it with you. So so it is dev tools, and let's see. It is this CSV to JSON. Okay. And here's what I've done lately is I updated this because I needed to do stuff, but now it's a CSV to JSON with with SQL integration. All right. So check this. Yeah, it's pretty sexy, bro. All right, so you upload it with all of the locations. Okay. So I update it with all locations. So check out this. So you see how it says city, state short, state full, country, city alias, United States. Well, what I could do is I could edit this. So I could come up here and I could shorts state. I don't want to call it state full, so I could just call it state. And then it will update this little right here. You see that?
That's nice.
All right. So that's going to be your header. Okay. Well, now if I want to call it my SQL table, you could call it locations. You could remove duplicates if you need. Okay. If there's any duplicates in there, because I was having some duplicate issues. And then I could convert to JSON. Okay. Once you convert it to JSON, watch what happens. Any second now, right? Now it converts it to JSON. So this is a CSV format with a header with a header up top, and then the city, all the data. Well, this is a JSON with the JSON is the key, right? So it's like the key pair value. So you have a city, and then you have city value, state. But you see how I have the state and the New York? I changed it.
Yeah.
You see how it's not state? Well, now if you hit generate SQL and download SQL, well, that's this. Now it downloads your SQL file, so it's an SQL statement, but also it says create table. If not exists, create the location table. Here's all your city and state, and then insert all your locations.
That's nice.
And this inserts your entire thing into your database. Isn't that sexy?
Dude.
Right? Like,
Dude.
this helps make stuff so fast.
Yeah, I bet.
If you build your database off of this structure, you could just now create that and then insert in. But there you go.
That's definitely happening.
So yeah, that's in there. I think I'll turn this public also. So in my AI team, if you just search that up, the CSV to JSON, it will be public in there too. Yeah, so it's public. So CSV to JSON converter is in there too. But you guys now all have the link, so it's also there.
Nice.
There's also a webhook. So if you click send webhook, it will send it to a URL. So if you want to input it into a different database that way too, you could. I just needed to get my data in my database somehow. So
Right.
this is it. So, and then I just basically pasted that whole thing. I deleted my locations and then it added that. Or you could tell it to update the code and make it update the locations, whatever you so choose, however you want. If you go to that page and hit inspect, also inspect or view page source, I think. Yeah, view page source, you could grab the code. And then you could update your own code also.
It's thinking about loading.
So yeah.
Nice. So let's go to.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps. So now let me ask you, did that kind of solve and answer the question of how to find the right keywords to go after, Austin, initially?
Yes.
Did
Yep.
that help or? Okay. Yeah. So that's good. What about you, Troy? Does that kind of answer maybe why we would do this? Why are we doing this? Maybe potentially, like, has that question got answered yet or no?
Yeah, I guess it's still. I mean, I like the idea because I always reference Craigslist type of but real basic sort of structure. Yeah, I still think it's still, I don't know. It still seems, yeah, I guess I still have some questions just in terms of how you separate it and in competing with other search possibilities or other ways to search for the same thing. I like what you said about creating the brand, Blaze 24/7 or whatever it might be, because that you can create just like a person creating a brand around themselves. Then you have that can increase the value a lot and maybe make it easier to market or sell or remember. When you're just go to Blaze 420 or Blaze 24/7, and that people know to go there. So I think that's a great idea.
So can I add on to that, Troy?
Yeah, go. Absolutely.
So there's a guy that I watch on YouTube, and I don't remember his name. He's all about rank and rent. And so creating a brand will actually, believe it or not, because he was talking about like creating a brand versus creating like a like just creating it like the keyword term. It in a sense could hurt the brand, hurt the website by making it a brand, because you're not. So let's say instead of having it, well, I guess what you could do is you could do a split test, right? You could split test it and be like, okay, create the exact duplicate website and just have Blaze 420 or Blaze 24/7. And what you could do is you could split test it, because if you're then split testing, it'd be like, okay, this you're out getting more data from both, and then you can figure out what's ranking better, what is what people are searching more. Now, with your exact keyword term, you're going to be able to rank higher because of the fact people are always looking for dispensaries near me or dispensaries open near me now. That with that term, it's easier to be able to rank and build a what is it called, a programmatic website for the term. Now, if you wanted to go and build a brand off of the term, it's kind of hard, if that makes any sense.
It does, but at the same time, you can do both, because look, you don't have to have the URL be Blaze 24/7. It could still be search dispensaries near me as the URL, and you have Blaze 24/7 search dispensaries near me. So it's still a brand name attached to the URL or on top of the URL. You don't have to change the URL. So you could really do both. Well, as you were talking, I was thinking to myself, see, what one of the issues that I think that I wonder is, like you said, you're getting it listed all over, but is it really high enough to really get this organic traffic? So you will need, or most likely, to promote it in some way. Like, look at this. What if you had Blaze 24/7 Troy, Blaze 24/7 Austin, Blaze 24/7 Jeff? These sorts, and we're all affiliates sending traffic to that page, and somehow we get paid by what we bring into that page. So then you can have an army of affiliates out there kind of promoting your just, search dispensaries near me, which when ads come through. So that's just a whole nother level of thinking. I'm just wondering, it's really about ROI, the time that we're all putting into this. Once it does get to a spot which you're picturing, Jeff, then you still need to go out and sell. Then you have to show traffic. You have to show, then they have to have some sort of success for them to remain a client for long term. So these are all, and then you think of, okay, how much time and effort is going to be put into this, and is there maybe easier ways to make money? And so that's why I look for those alternate ways, like say having affiliates or influencers / affiliates that would go out there and kind of promote that. Just once the traffic comes in, the ranks would go higher. We'd all be getting paid, and they'd be doing a lot of the work for you, and you can move on to other directories in different spaces, and just build an affiliate, SEO affiliates that just drive traffic to all of these different directories.
Yeah. And it's interesting is I kind of like what you said with that is so you kind of talked about like the promotion part of that. Well, if 90% of my products that I've ever built, I have to do the promotion, or I have to go get affiliates, or I have to do something to promote it. This is the first product that I'm building, like the cool part that I'm coding is the traffic that's working. Like I'm not looking like Troy, like all of these clicks that you see right here, 2,590 clicks since Friday, November 8th. We are a month and a half in. This is all 1,000% organic. This isn't just traffic off of my Google stats. This is traffic directly from Google Analytics, like Google Search Console.
How many of those clicks do you think are you or me or Austin?
Absolutely zero.
Really?
Look at this right here is purely off of, I'm on Google Search Console, not Google Analytics. Google Analytics, Google Anal. It said Google Anal. That was
for a moment.
All right. All right. Good. Analytics. All right. So if we look at our Google Analytics stats, our Google Analytics stats are going to be much different. Okay. Our Google Analytics stats is going to show what you just said. Okay. Now we're looking at attorney search near me. Nice. Okay. So this went up the other day. Okay. So if I go to, let's see, which business is this one? I have a couple for these. Let's see. It's a search. Is this our search on this? Dispensary. All right. Man. All right. So if we go to the search for the last 30 days for this on reports, or not even the search. So this is last 29 days. Let's see. Let's do 90 days. Okay. All of these, what we're looking at is this isn't necessarily traffic coming from, if we look at this, traffic and page and screens, you'll see we actually have search traffic and where it's coming from. So you can see United States. Let's see. Organic search traffic. So this is our search console. So all of these searches right here are not coming from, you can see dispensaries Ohio, dispensaries Minnesota. They're not coming from us in social. They're coming from the actual searches themselves. Right. So if we look right here, these are the queries. This is just we'll do last 3 months. So 2,640 searches. And then if we have rows per page right here, you can see what Austin is saying is So just for the word dispensary near me, my domain itself is called dispensarynearmeopennow.com. Okay. So just for that word itself, let's go back. Just for that word itself, I got so far since this site launched 71 clicks from Google from this keyword of being at search. So far, it's 6,287 times that I've appeared on Google. Well, the next one is just a variation of it, dispensaries, which is the plural version of that. That I've gotten 8 clicks from that. Well, now the next thing is a smoke shop near me. So if somebody's watching this, dude, smoke shop near me is such a good keyword. And then I have vape shops. So these right here are all the queries that I'm getting searched for.
Yeah.
Not necessarily social media searches. These are the queries. And then here is the pages that they found on social media. I mean, on Google. And then this one is what they searched. And this is the page that got clicked. So this one page, dispensaries/Ohio Hamilton, from Google got clicked 15 times. But you times that by 33,000 pages is what's happening. Yeah. So it's not necessarily I'm not promoting these on social media. The cool thing about this is the thing that we're doing is coding up the pages that are giving us traffic. So now we're stuck with this thing is, hey, I got traffic, now what? Right? This is where I'm at right now. I have 47 clicks a day from this site right now, every day, so far. Well, what do I do? And if you see the average position just keeps increasing, so I'm getting more traffic from these. Well, now what do we do with this? Now what do you do with the traffic? It's not the other way around, is where I have to go create something and then go get affiliates to promote. That's the power of this, is we have traffic. Now what do we do with it? So now that's what's saying is, okay, I could go to one of these lawyers and I could say, hey, look, I just started this brand new site. If you want to be one of the very number one, right now my site's only getting a couple clicks a day. However, it's $250 a month if you want to be number one for now.
Right. I think that's exactly what you should do. You should test it, because that's where my concern or my question comes in, is that, okay, how much is really that many views or impressions worth? And, is it really proven out? And to get a lot of traffic to be able to sell it at a higher level or at whatever level you want, you're going to need to be able to show it, right? And go, hey, look, we have this much traffic. That's why we're selling it at $2,000 a month. So yeah, I'd like to see what you could sell, what you have it at now, or at what point are you going to decide to try to sell it at what level of traffic? And that's where my idea of getting people to kind of promote it would come in.
Yeah. So right now, I guess maybe the thing is I need to close the deal with the guy. I've been talking to a guy and I've been letting him wait for a minute. But ultimately, there's a guy that wants to rent a space, the ad space, on this dispensary site. That's it. He sells seeds worldwide. He ships them anywhere, and he wants to put his ad right on my site. Well, he's willing to pay what I already offered him, which was $100 a month. Just starting off, because I was like, but the thing is, he's probably willing to pay more. However, I just said that because that's what I said, because that's where my confidence level is. Okay. So I think it's based off your confidence level and basically your traffic level. So
it's also about, sacrificing and giving in the beginning. So, somebody, you'll both win. You got somebody on the site. That could be a huge win for him, but he's kind of, putting himself out there. He's a test for you. And you know what? It might win. You maybe you make that $100.
Did I freeze or Troy?
Troy.
Okay. Yeah. You're back.
Okay. I was just saying that that's a good test. I mean, throw them in there at 100. Put them on a 6-month contract.
Yeah,
and then after 6 months, you revisit it if he's taken off.
100%. So
another thing you could do, Jeff, is what I said a while back was go and use Amazon and use Amazon affiliates and just throw up a couple of products on there and just test it. See if anyone clicks. And if people click, okay, wait, see if they buy. Because with everything set up throughout the Google console, you can track all of that.
like literally that dispensary site, it's 50 clicks a day. So think about it right now, without me doing anything, I'm not telling anybody, I'm not promoting it to anybody. It's 50 visitors a day.
Yeah.
At the main URL or at any of the thousands of
all
URLs?
of them. But the thing is, it's only one page. All of
but
URLs,
the specific cities show up in different searches, right? So if I say dispensaries near me, Colorado Springs, and I click, that's going to be and it's to Colorado Springs, it's going to be to that page.
correct.
Right.
But
the 50 is out of all the thousands.
That's correct. However, I'm in that page, that one single page. If you click Colorado, that one page is the exact same as if you click Las Vegas for me in my end. So I only have one page to add an ad.
Right.
And but it's really 33,000 pages. Right. So yes, it's all of those individual pages. However, that ad will be seen 50 times still, no matter what. It's throughout those every single one.
That's kind of where I was coming with the products, because if you want to make it to where, like, okay, I'm making something off of this site, you'll be already making $100 a month with that ad if you end up going through with that. Then if let's say you put 5 products on there that average out to be $300 a month, that's $400 in additional money that you could be getting. Like it's also like on my in the business or the directory that I'm building, it's good. What I'm doing is I'm going to be outreaching to all these businesses. Now, let's say you wanted to do, we could go back like a month or two ago and be like, okay, what if we just did it to where we cold emailed all of these all of these dispensaries, be like, do you want a premium spot on this business or on this directory that you already are listed on? And you could go that route and just see if anyone bites. It doesn't hurt to see if anyone bites. And you're not, the worst they're going to say is no. And if they say no, and if they say nothing, well, you tried.
Yeah. Did anyone catch that video that I did the other day on scraping Google Maps, the leads?
Yes.
Off of Google Maps? Did you see how I parse the data, Austin?
Yes.
So let me show you, Troy. So inside this, we have the Google Maps scraper, because I need the data, right? So we have it's called websitescraperapi.com, and we can log into this. Well, this is where we get
your HT access.
What's that?
You need to fix your HT access to get rid of those ugly URLs.
Thanks, man. Oh, yeah, definitely. So if we go to Google Map or the map scraper right here, well, I added this bulk scraper that has all the locations embedded in here. So you could essentially come through here and say, oh, I want all of Alaska. And then you could say, if you want all of the cannabis dispensaries in Alaska, it will pull 240 cities and then search every city. Okay. And you could do that with every single one of these. Alabama has 656 cities. You could click that and it will populate the cities down here and then show you how much credits it's going to charge. Okay. And then it will scrape the whole thing. So let me show you guys with something that has like maybe not so many cities, right? So let's just say like Guam, right?
There you go.
So if we were to do something like Guam, and I just put like smoke shops, all right, smoke shops. Well, if I had Guam has 7 cities, and I could bulk scrape, and it will scrape each city. Okay, so you can see what's happening, right? And this will change. It has a little loading bar. AI coded up this whole code for us. And then down here, it populates. If you notice, here's all the businesses, right? So it pulls the businesses right away, and then right now, and it's done. Okay. So it pulls all the businesses. It has like the smoke shop, the ID, all the information when it's open, the city, the photos for each of these businesses, everything you need. And it has the website, but it doesn't have your email or anything, right? It doesn't have emails or anything like that. So what we could do is I could hit export CSV. Okay. And then it's going to export that entire CSV up here. Okay. And then we come over here into bulk scraper. And now our bulk scraper, okay, we can have, you could download the sample CSV, and basically it just has to have the header of website, right? So what I did is if you upload the CSV right here, bam, now we could just we could click on the thing that we just downloaded, and then you can see it says 20 valid URLs out of 35 rows. Not every business has a URL. Some URLs aren't like, they don't add them, right? So now you can see it says Puff Supply GU, Puff Supply, like all of these, right? We have all of these like businesses here. Well, one, we could go through one at a time and we could select them, or two, we could hit select all, and it's going to select all. You see I have 13 selected, and now I'm going to scrape selected URLs. And it's going to go through and scrape every single one of the URLs, okay, in a batch. You could put, I would recommend up to 5,000. Don't do more than 5,000. Sometimes it will crash my server. All right. But it's fun to crash servers. So it's all right if you want to try. Okay. So look, now you have the text from the site, each one of the sites, the HTML, the emails, social links. None of those had emails, but they all had social links. And then you could export those things, emails and social links, into this, and then I could hit export. And what it does, it enriches the CSV. Okay, so now if I click on the CSV, if you're a lead seller and you want to sell leads to people, check out this. Guys, the other day I sold 20,000 leads for $1,000. And this is what I did. I delivered him this entire CSV of 20,000 URLs. All of this, the website, look at all the websites, the data, the business address, everything, the place name, the price, the time zone, the working hours, the reviews, or we don't have the reviews in this one because we didn't amend it, the photos. And then if you go all the way down here, we have the emails and social links. None of these smoke shops had their emails on their site, but we have all of those. So we're post scraping every single URL and every website. And now you could deliver those as leads, or you guys could reach out to them and call them, add them on social media, whatever you do, you could do that. But that was a product that I did, right? Somebody asked if they could have 20,000 contacts, and it was registered investment advisors. And I went through every city and state. It was only like 10 states, and it was 20,000 leads, 20,000 contacts like that. 5 cents a lead, 5 cents a contact, all through that little software. Well, that's the same data provider that we're using to make the programmatic SEO websites.
Any idea how that person was going to handle that data?
Yeah, they're literally one at a time. They have a sales room, and they're going to call every single one of those registered investment advisors. And then if they don't get a hold of them, they're going to email them. And then that's their little plan. So, okay. Yep. And once they go through that list, they're going to most likely come back for more. I delivered them 28,000. Oh, out of they wanted 20,000. I gave them 28,000.
They gotta have this concern. I mean, because there's a do not call list, and you can actually get sued for calling numbers that are on that list. Maybe if you haven't already, you could add to remove people from the do not call list, or I guess you could take that CSV and probably throw it into the federal do not call list directory, and it might kick you something back. How would you handle that in terms of being able to filter out the ones that are on the do not call list?
Yeah. So I believe what they did something called skip tracing. And that's the process of verifying that do not call and finding other phone numbers with it too. So they process it, you know, but I mean, if somebody wants that service, well, then you could do it, or you could tell them how to go find it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
skip tracing, is that actually a service?
Yep. Skip tracing. Yep. So you could skip trace those emails or those phone numbers, and it will verify if it's on the do not call list. And there's other softwares that you could do that, just like what you just said. But yeah, skip tracing is the main term for it, as I know what they did. So yeah.
Cool.
And it could be another service, right? You say, hey, like it's 10 cents for every phone number that you want skip traced and you want verified on the do not call list, right?
Yeah.
So,
and then I was thinking, like I originally said, you could do it, but you probably wouldn't want to do that because that would have you leave you open some legalities if they got busted for something and you said that you filtered it. So it's probably better to stay away from that.
Totally. I mean, anything like that, I would just submit like, hey, this is the site I did it with, and then here it is, you know, or whatever it is. And
yeah,
you know, but
go here.
Provide them a list of the ones that got rejected also, so that they could see like this was post-processed, you know what I mean? So yeah. So but yeah, so I mean, data selling might be a part of thing that so here's where I'm going with this is ultimately I want to be really expensive with my template. I want to sell my template for like anywhere from like $5,000 to $10,000 just for the template, for the programmatic SEO website template, plus the cost of the data. Okay, so if somebody wants 2 million business records, well, that'd be $18,000 on their site from Website Scraper API. That's the goal with it. So,
well, I'm thinking of how to use basically how to use AI to basically scrape these sites. You know, let's say different realtors or offices across the country or within a city, whatever it might be. You can do this with any business. And then what data would we want to pull and then feed into an AI to build the best of, in terms of, let's say we grab a 50 top realtor websites and we pull all the data from it, feed it into an AI to make it this big Superman realtor website, right? That's the best of the best. And that's where my head's at right now, is how to scrape, gather all this, and then plug it all into one factory that just kind of kicks out one awesome website that is AI created from all of these best sites.
yeah. So pretty much, Troy, I like what you're thinking. No joke. That's where we're headed, right? Like that's the ultimate goal with this is I want to make this dashboard where you just come in and you could just say, here's all the cities that I want to rank for. And then you could check box the ones that you want to show up in. Right? If you don't want that city, you could select it and delete it, or you could add a new city really fast. Add location. Then from there, I want to make it where you go from here and you set up your entire branding. So you say your company name, tagline, founded, visual identity. Then you set up your categories, which is all the categories that you want to rank for. Then there's going to be a button that you're just going to press that's going to say import data. And it's literally going to connect your categories and your cities, and it's going to reference, just like this one does, the website scraper, where it scrapes every city and state. It's going to pull all of the data and then install all of the profiles into your account.
I can't tell if I'm still seeing managed locations. Are we supposed to be seeing something else?
I wonder why it like freezes when sometimes it's so strange.
Because you're in Vegas.
Right. So
It's your spectrum.
So ultimately, I want you to come in here and be able to like cross-reference and set up your company profile. Once you set up your company profile, you're like, here's your company name, your tagline, your year founded. You'll hit save, set up your visual identity, which is like your logo and your branding and all this stuff. Then you set your categories, which is getting like, what do you want to do? If you want to do real estate agents, you'd put real estate agent and then real estate agents. And then you would put all the type of real estate agents, like commercial development real estate agent, like residential, and you would list all of those categories. Well, that creates all your pages. Then you're going to have this page right here that says import data, and you're going to be able to select the little button, and it's going to say, do you have X amount of credits? And once you have that many credits, it's going to call Website Scraper API, this software over here, because I have to build this software at the same time I'm building this other thing, because we need to come over here and build it so you could get the data. And this connects it to the data. So now we pull all of the data from this site into this site. And then, because here's the thing, this right here, you see how we have Navaki, this guy, Navak accident injury law? Check out this. If I search this guy alone every month on top of the keywords for the city and state, okay? This guy alone every month, there's only 31,000 competitors. Do you see that right here? 31,000, not 3 million. 31,000. But look at this, Troy. 590 times a month, this one business name gets searched. So if we have this business name on our website, we start to rank for this traffic, because we're going to outrank this guy's website, because we come up way higher, because we have way more like stuff. He's advertising for his own word, but we're going to come up dang near in the top 10 for this. Instagram is ranking on this. Like almost nobody is ranking. 31,000 competitors. And we're soon going to rank just for this guy's profile name. That is the reason why it's a little bit more in depth than just like, think about this. Now, all of a sudden you have profiles. You see this, you have locations times category, which is your sitemap. Then you have, this is 273 profiles just from Las Vegas, not from all of the other cities and states that I have right now. So all of a sudden you're having all of the business names that you're ranking for also. So this entire thing is a giant search engine. Like, get it onto Google and the goal is for it to rank. The business is the fact that it does rank. Now what do we do with the traffic? That's the business that we're in now. I'm realizing that it works. If I submit these sitemaps to Google, they accept it. Google loves the sitemaps. They come back and they say, you see some of them, they say can't fetch, they error and all this stuff. But when they accept them and they actually go through, I mean, like this one's slowly starting to get indexed and it's at 84,000 pages now. And if you see 20,000 is starting to get ranked. And if we look directly at my stats, you can see, look at that, bam. It's going up because I'm listing these.
Okay, it looks, did Austin take off? Looks like he did, huh?
Yeah, he usually dips around about that time.
And then here let's start this way. What about with Bing and other search engines? How do you think you do there? And I'm going someplace with this because my buddy has the agency and he works with listing directories, and there's a way to rank what percentage, and it does it every so often, and all this sort of I'll have to get into it. But I'm looking right here at his this is stuff I have from his agency, and we would use them. And this is to rank. It says how familiar are you with Factual, Axiom, Info Group, or New Star? Is the way it's listed here, and this is what he's always said is listing distribution submits your business listings to the 4 major data providers: Factual, Axiom, Info Group, and New Star. Together, these data providers are referenced by over 300 online listing directories, talking about Yahoo, Bing, all these others. So how familiar are you with them, and are we just focused on Google, and how would this translate over to the other, Yelp, Bing? I mean, there's plenty of other ones.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's more search engines out there that you submit sitemaps to. So far, I only personally know Google and Bing. I literally, because I don't claim to be an SEO guy. Like, I was never like, this was never the business. I was a marketer that now I had to get traffic the way you were saying, affiliates, promoting it myself. Like, this is the first time I've gotten traffic for free. So for me, I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean? So like, this is interesting. You know what I mean? So I submitted to Bing. This is the dispensary near me now site, 28,000 URLs. We can see in the search, this is what it's starting to do, right? So you can see I submitted it. It started getting some clicks, impressions. Bing isn't as popping, right? It's not as big. However, if I go over to attorney search near me, well, I got 2 impressions coming up. Heck yeah. But look at this sitemap. 4 million, baby. Do you guys see that?
I'm going to put this here. Is this?
Dude, they accepted them all. Heck yes.
See, yeah. So take a look.
That is sexy. So they accepted all my sitemaps like good little boys. Oh man, I freaking love it. So look, this is exactly what I'm going towards, Troy. Like, they accepted 22 million URLs. Look at this, 4 freaking million URLs.
That's crazy.
4 million chances to suck. You know what I mean? That's the idea. Like, imagine I just get like, dude, I'm on page 50. And that's all right, because I have 4 million pages on page 50. And somebody's going to scroll down there and click. And that brings maybe 50 visitors a day. But 50 visitors a day could be $1,000 a month on a site.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might need to introduce you to my buddy and to see how this might work with his agency. I mean, maybe there's something you could both learn from each other on this, and maybe do something together.
Yeah, I mean, this is cool that Bing accepted this so far.
Because he offers, when we were doing some stuff with an agent with my mom's office, he offers SEO, based on keyword popularities in certain regions and stuff. So there might be something here that he might want to utilize for some of his customers, So I'll have to introduce you.
Absolutely. Heck yeah. Like, so for me, I feel like the only reason I'm even doing this, Troy, is because it's working, and I'm surprised it's working. It's not like I have this idea and be like, oh, this is why, like, it wasn't from I know this works and therefore I'm going to do this. It's more of like, hey, like, I can't believe this is working. It's working really well. If Google tells us something that, hey, like, this is why it's not working, we make the update and we fix it. And then we submit it to Google, and then Google rewards us. It's more of, this is just practicing, and I'm finding that it's working. And now I'm discovered something that's traffic. For me, the hardest thing in my entire internet marketing career has been traffic. If I could figure out how to make the traffic part, I could sell anything. I could build that part, and I could figure that part out. Now this is why I'm most excited about this, is because the nerdy thing that I'm doing is the traffic, not that I'm creating some course or I created something and then I have to go sell it. It's the opposite. I created some nerdy thing that sells itself because it gets traffic. Now that I have the traffic, what do I do? That's the position I'm in. And so I do feel like I'm not done with these sites. I don't know what to do yet with 50 visitors a day to maximize that. So when I get 5,000 visitors a day, it makes sense. I'm not there. So that is the goal.
Good. You're gonna be I don't know. New Year Thursday there'll be a class meeting. I just gotta see if my buddy Chris can hop on one of these calls, and then he can. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
Otherwise, our recording's up.
Yep, recording's up, and I'll send it once it's done. So maybe you could just send him this video and tell him like, hey, like.
Yeah. Hey, peek at this, and it might spur some thoughts and ideas for him for sure.
100%. So cool. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you for the class today.
Love you too. Happy New Year. See you next year.
Cheers, guys. Later, Ed.
Later. Later, Ed.